We spoke with you last week, shortly after your arrest. How are you doing a week later? Do you think anything's changed since then?
Thank you. Personally, I'm healing from my assault, the assault against me. And that's a very small taste of what is going on with the students at large, which in turn is a very small taste of what's going on in Gaza. And I only see things actually digging in. There are several colleges that have negotiated with students. There are several colleges that have agreed to divest. Brown University is going to take a vote on it. Evergreen College, State College in Oregon has agreed to divest, and several other colleges have as well. Others have agreed to disclose. This is an adult discussion. This is what should be happening on our campuses. And likewise, that adult discussion should be taking place around the genocide taking place in Gaza, because the world community has weighed in, the American people have weighed in, but the American political elites are digging in and seeking to weaponize anti-Semitism and use it as a political tool to prevent a debate and a discussion that is really critical. We're about to be embroiled in a war that could be going much bigger very quickly.
And you had a strong message for President Biden. We heard just a little bit of that a moment ago. You say he needs to pick up the phone. He needs to call Netanyahu and order him to pull back from Gaza. Our reporter in Tel Aviv, Robert Sherman, reporting Israel military action is coming in Rafah and the Gaza Strip in the very near future now. It seems like those talks are falling apart. Is it that simple? How should the U.S., how should President Biden be responding in light of this new reporting, Dr. Stein?
Yes, I mean, there's also a potential major conflict brewing with Yemen as well that could also embroil us in a much bigger war, potentially with Iran, because Iran is in relation to Yemen, and in relation to Iran is Russia and nuclear weapons. So it's not hard to see this as a pre-World War I type situation with nuclear weapons thrown into the mix. It's very important for us to act like adults in the room here, to respect the UN resolutions, the repeated resolutions with which the U.S. has single-handedly interfered with over and over again, and to respect the ruling of the International Court of Justice, which says that this is a plausible genocide and that all steps must be taken right now to end it. Doing that would immediately diffuse the conflicts that are exploding right now with Israel's neighbors as well. We are not doing a favor to Israel. We are not doing a favor to the Jews in this area, and we're not doing a favor to international law and human rights. We're basically normalizing right now the murder and torture of children on an industrial scale, and the American people are not going to stand for it.
I do want to switch topics with the time we have. Former President Trump generating headlines this weekend saying Biden is running a, quote, Gestapo administration. This is the latest example of Trump using the language of Nazi Germany. He's done it before. What do you think about this comparison?
It's a very despicable comparison. It's extremely inflammatory. It is demagoguery in and of itself. But unfortunately, we're not just hearing this from Donald Trump. We're also hearing this from Congress, and we're hearing intimations of this as well from the president, who are accusing the peaceful encampments of instigating violence. And it's very clear that the violence, in reviewing the videos that are now all over social media, the violence is being brought largely by the police when they've been brought in, and kudos to the mayor of Washington, D.C., as well as the police forces, who basically said there's nothing going on, that warrants the use of the police force. And that's pretty much true across the board. Where there is well-documented violence, it was either coming from the police or it was coming from a Zionist mob, which in fact was working together with the Proud Boys, as is being reported now.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.